Hey guys, it's me, Robo, and it has been 2 days at the time of recording this since Neon Abyss 2 has come out, and I have put just about 24 hours into the game. I put 12 hours the first day, and then 12 hours the second day, and so far, I kind of want to just talk about like everything. This is kind of like my review. But first thing that I really want to talk about is I I did not play the first game, but maybe like an hour or two, maybe not even an hour, maybe like 30 minutes. I don't know. I don't really remember at all playing the first game. It was years and years ago. I don't know if you guys feel this way too, but the second game, it feels like the very first like level that you get into is very like small. Does anyone else feel like that? Like it feels like there isn't really anywhere to go in the first level, but the other levels are pretty big and sporadic and like spread out. But the first one, super small. I feel like the first one in the first game was a lot bigger than the first level in the second game. But so far, that's my only complaint. There was, the FPS that was a little weird. There was like a little bit of hiccups and stuff with the performance, but that seems to have gone away now. FPS in general, which is kind of a given. It's like if there's a lot of eggs and stuff on screen, then yeah, I went from like cap 240 FPS down to like 50. Which is unfortunate, but I mean, that happens in all games where there's a lot of things going on at the same time, so that was kind of expected. And so far, that's the only like real complaint that I have is that the very first like level just feels really short. It feels short and really small. I wish the first one was a bit bigger. I mean, they can all the levels, if they all of them were bigger, that would be great, but the very first one to me, it feels really small. Okay, so what I've done in 24 hours I of gameplay, I have gotten, I think, to level 52 or 53, and I'm on the final skill tree, which I'm gonna finish that on stream soon. We'll max all of that out. I want to see all of the like things in the game because I'm gonna do some challenge runs soon. But I want to unlock everything in the game first, and then start the like different challenge runs. So get subscribed if you want to see that. I love all of the different what are those rooms called? I'm drawing a blank right now. The like different like fun like arcade rooms. Those I love those rooms, especially the piano. The piano is so much fun. I've messed up on the piano so many times, but I love the piano. Piano room is great. Basketball is great, but I suck at it. The volleyball one is really fun. Dance floor is great, and fishing is what I've done so far. I haven't seen the meditation room yet. I did see the like psycho room where like the teddy bear is sitting in the middle. It was like a really creepy room. I've seen that once. That was fun. I think there's more. I forgot how many different rooms there are, but I know I haven't seen the meditation room yet, and I think there's one more room that I haven't seen as well. Boss fights and stuff are amazing. They're very fun. The like enemy variety is great. There's tons of different enemies that take different, like all of them have different moves. It's really fun to try and play around those moves and all that. And I think I'm starting to feel like a pattern. Like there's a pattern to where like the enemies like shoot, and I had the pattern down at one point, and then I kind of forgot it. But I know if sometimes you feel like you're getting hit constantly and there's nothing really you can do. Like sometimes, yeah, there isn't much you can do. There's just things flying all around the screen, so you're bound to get hit. But sometimes with a lot of the smaller enemies, there are like patterns to where they shoot. Like I've realized that in the what's that room called? The challenge room. I realized in the challenge room that most of the enemies on in the challenge room are kind of on like a timer. So you can like sit still. They don't try and like shoot where you're going. They shoot where you were standing. I don't know, in like an interval of like 2 seconds ago or 3 seconds ago. Like I've noticed whenever I'm jumping around the challenge room, they're always shooting like way behind me. So in the challenge room, there's like see the pattern, then you can jump around and not get hit at all. But it's usually just standing still for a bit, waiting for like counting that. Not you don't have to count the timer physically in your head. I was doing that whenever I first started the challenge rooms, but you can kind of just sit there for like a second or two and then like move. and they will all shoot at that like previous spot. So not all of them work like that. It's kind of like the first and like second world. Some of the more like advanced worlds, like when you get into the world with all the robots, some of them do that, but most of them are firing missiles. So, and the missiles are just gonna track you down. But most of the enemies that are shooting like lasers or anything like that at you, or missiles that don't track you, yeah, they usually fire like a few seconds behind where you just was. Do with that information what you will. Boss fights are super fun. I haven't gotten to the I've gotten to the 7th world so far, and I got there on the hard mode. I haven't unlocked Abyssal yet. About to unlock Abyssal difficulty soon. On hard difficulty, it is pretty difficult. It is, on normal is pretty difficult. I feel like normal and hard, actually, I think the only difference between normal and hard is that on hard mode, the enemies have a bit more health, and that's it. But in normal difficulty, you still feel like you're getting hit, like just as much. Like both the difficulties feel the same. It's just a bit, not Abyssal, but hard mode, you just takes a couple more shots to kill the enemy. But if you have the weapon that I'm about to say, then it doesn't really matter, which is gonna bring me to my next point. I haven't gotten like like a bunch of really good builds yet, but a lot of the builds that I have made so far, they're good, like they're decent builds, but they're not like anything that crazy, you know. They're pretty good builds, but they don't do that much damage. I'm gonna hold out until I unlock like everything in the game to then start judging that. But as of right now, I'm not doing that much damage unless I have the tennis racket. If you guys have been playing and you've gotten the tennis racket, you know. The tennis racket is insane. I have only gotten 2 runs so far where I have made it to the 7th room, right? And both of those runs was because I had a tennis racket. Every single other weapon in the game that I've used so far, I have barely made it past like the 5th room, like that 5th boss. But with the tennis racket, I almost beat the 7th boss on like 2 hearts left. Like the tennis racket just does so much damage, it's insane. I don't know. I wish that all of the other weapons felt as powerful as Punchy, because at this point I feel like I don't want to play as much. You know, I don't want to queue into or go into another run unless I have a tennis racket, you know? Like I feel like I'm just physically not gonna make it as far with anything but the tennis racket. And I know I can. It's just I need a lot more practice, and there's just a lot more things that I need to work on. Like especially like dodging hits. Like I'm good at dodging hits in the challenge rooms, but outside of that, fighting bosses and just normal enemies around, I am horrible at like dodging or horrible at paying attention to where I'm getting hit from. And the tennis racket makes that so easy. If you haven't gotten a tennis racket, you literally just, it's a tennis racket. You get 3 tennis balls and you hit them and they fly around the room, right? And the more you hit the tennis balls, the faster they fly around the room and the more damage they deal. Once the tennis balls are going at like full speed, they're going across your screen at like a Mach 10. And now you don't have to worry about hitting the boss anymore. So you can worry about looking at your character and dodging bullets and all of that, while the 3 tennis balls are absolutely shredding the boss for you. You don't have to do anything. You can just literally just watch. You can just sit there and watch. So I love the tennis racket, but it's pretty strong. I've run into a couple of other really strong weapons as well. I forget what this weapon is called. There's another like really good weapon that I've come across. It's like a heart shaped weapon, and it runs off of like your little like pet things. I don't know what they're called. Sorry, I didn't play the first game. Well, but like 30 minutes. And that was like 5 or so years. I don't know how many years ago that was. Yeah, there's like a heart weapon that's also very good. Not as good as the tennis racket. Like if the tennis racket is like 100% like peak weapon in the game, then the heart weapon is maybe like 85-90% of the tennis racket's power, you know? And the heart weapon is really, it's interesting if you shoot your pets. So whenever you pick it up, your pets get a shield, so they can't really like take damage. But whenever you shoot your pets, while they have the shield on, it creates an explosion. And the farther and farther I got into, you might actually be seeing that right now on screen, of the run that I had with that weapon. The more and more you like shoot your pets, and the farther you or the more you level it up, the bigger the explosion gets. And that thing, it does shred. Absolutely shreds some of the bosses, and it's great for just clearing out mobs. I'd go as far to say is that the heart weapon is better for clearing out like any like basic rooms and the like challenge rooms than the tennis racket does. The tennis racket is like just a boss, like just boss killer. It does so much damage to bosses and it just bounces around the room. And it's good. You can use it in the challenge rooms too, because the challenge rooms are closed in, so the tennis balls can bounce around. But the explosive weapons do a lot more for rooms that have a lot more enemies than the tennis racket, because tennis racket actually has to hit them direct. Other than that, I did play a bit of multiplayer. Played multiplayer with my friend, guild friend Disco. He just got into the game, so he's like level 5 or something. And we played for like 2-3 hours maybe, and didn't have any problems, which is good. We weren't disconnecting or anything. We didn't have any problems connecting. We invited each other on Steam and it immediately connected, and we played for a couple hours without any problems, so that was good. Other than that, yeah, the game has been great. Game has been absolutely amazing. I've been having an absolute blast. And I mean, I guess speaks for itself if I've put 12 hours in the first day of the game's release and another 12 hours in the second day's game's release. And I plan on doing probably another like 10 today. I don't know. Whenever I actually get on. Yeah. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys are having fun with Neon Abyss too, I'm having an absolute blast. Playing solo and playing with friends, both ways is really fun. One more thing that I want to follow up on at the end here is again with the difficulty. The difficulty, I know they said the difficulty scales as you level up. When you first start playing the game, like when I first started playing, I was on normal, right? And I won like 4 or 5 like matches in a row, getting to like the 5th room, because I didn't have the other stuff unlocked, I guess. And it felt super easy. It felt really, really easy. I was doing crazy amounts of damage with like weapons that weren't really leveled up that much. But then, soon as you like get leveled up, it becomes way, way, way more difficult, which is a good thing. I wanted the game to be difficult. I didn't want it to be super easy, because it looked like it was going to be really easy. And so if you're like in that stage of the game where you just started playing and you also, and like me, you don't really like games that are super easy. I like really hard games like Elden Ring, Liza P, that's what it is. Like Elden Ring, Liza P. I love playing games that are super, super difficult. Even like Path of Exile 2. When that came out, God, that was some of the bosses difficult and annoying, but it was fun. I look back on Path very, very fondly, even though they've changed a lot and I don't play anymore. But I'm glad that it got difficult, because now it has changed my entire outlook on the game. Because most games, like let's say like Risk of Rain, like Risk of Rain 2 or RoboQuest, like some of the other roguelikes that I play, those games, I don't really die that often in those games. In both of those games, I usually get pretty strong, like just casually playing and then making it to the end, and then that's it. That's the end of the game. But I most of the roguelike games that I play are like that, and I want a roguelike that actually feels like pretty challenging. You don't just drop in and every single item that you get is crazy strong, and then you just run all the way through the game and beat everything and you win. Like, winning over and over and over again in roguelikes just would not be that fun. Like eventually it would get boring. But this game, that is what's been keeping me like coming back to this game over and over again. And I literally yesterday, whenever I was playing, I was like, dude, like I had gotten pretty far and I died. I was like, man, I want to get off, because it was like 4 in the morning. And I was like, I just want to get off and go to bed. But then I was like, I can't end it on a bad run like that. I was like, let's go again. That's how I ended up playing 12 hours. Like literally just 12 hours straight, because the gameplay loop just kept like hooking me into it. So the beginning, like I said, was kind of slow. It was the easiest part of the game. I got a couple of wins. Yeah, once you start leveling up, you get past like level 10, it's a level like 15 to 20 era. the game starts getting difficult, and that's where it really becomes fun. Yeah, hope you guys enjoyed my review of Neon Abyss 2. You know, after 24 hours of gameplay, here's for another 24 hours. You know, like I said, I'm gonna do some challenges soon on stream on this channel. So, you know, if you want to see those, you know what to do. I'll probably be uploading them as well, like making videos out of them after I finish streaming, you know, the challenge. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, you know, what your experience has been with Neon Abyss 2, and if you guys love it as much as I do, or having as much fun as I am with it. And I will see you guys all in my next video or stream. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. See ya.